All right, let's jump right in. We're looking at a company called 905 Wood, and they're doing something, well, pretty wild. They're taking a look at all that messy industrial wood waste, and they're not seeing garbage. No, they're seeing a raw material, kind of like crude oil, just waiting to be refined into a really valuable technological and financial asset.
So get this. Here's the core idea that just flips the whole script. What if that dumpster sitting out back, that line item on your budget that's always in the red, what if it could actually start generating value for you? That's the powerful concept we're going to unpack today.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First up, we'll talk about the regulatory cliff. Then, we'll get into the automated front door. After that, we'll dive deep into the digital value engine. And to wrap it all up, we'll look at their blueprint for the future.
To really get why this is all happening right now, you have to understand the incredible pressure that's building up on this entire industry. We're not talking about just one new rule here. No way. This is a full-on, perfect storm that's creating a massive, high-stakes opportunity.
So what's going on is this convergence of pressures all hitting at once. First, mandatory digital reporting. That's already here. Then, starting in 2026, a new levy is going to make landfilling more expensive every single year. At the same time, a big trade deal review could totally slam the door on exporting waste. And on top of all that, there's a proposed ban on landfilling clean wood altogether. You know the old playbook? It's been completely tossed out the window.
And this number right here, $60 a ton, that's the hammer that's about to drop. This is the projected CIRC levy, and it's basically a massive financial penalty for every single ton of mixed, unverified waste that gets dumped. This isn't just some little fee. For a lot of companies, it's a choice. Either innovate or get crushed by this new cost.
Yeah, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? The days of dump it and forget it are over. Gone. The financial risk of just doing nothing, of sticking with the old way, is becoming a massive gamble that most companies just can't afford to take. Okay, so if the old way is officially broken, how do you get people to jump on board with a new one? Well, you start by fixing the most annoying, frustrating part of the entire process, that very first phone call. You build a completely automated, super easy digital welcome mat. For decades, this whole industry was just a nightmare of friction, right? Playing phone tag, getting buried in paperwork, and basically just guessing how big a load was. The new way? It just torches all of that. We're talking 24/7 AI chat, quotes that show up in seconds, and super precise estimates. It's a total game changer.
And get this, the process is ridiculously simple. Picture a contractor on a muddy job site. He just pulls out his phone, snaps a quick picture of his bin, and sends it over WhatsApp. That's it. That one little action kicks off this huge automated chain reaction. In milliseconds, AI is analyzing the photo, calculating everything, and then bam, a quote is sent right back. The whole logjam of waiting and calling, poof, it's gone.
And the tech behind this is just so slick. It's not one tool. It's a whole layered system that they rolled out in just over 6 months. You've got a meta chatbot on WhatsApp that grabs the first contact, a simpler bot for the easy questions, and then a heavy-hitting ChatGPT agent that can handle the really complex stuff. It's like having a digital front desk that never, ever sleeps.
All right, so getting customers in the door with a slick automated system is one thing. But now we get to the really, really cool part, the secret sauce. How does this digital refinery actually take physical garbage and magically turn it into real financial value?
The key here is something they call decoupled billing. See, traditional haulers just bundle everything into one big confusing price, hiding all the fees. This model breaks it all apart. You see exactly what you're paying for the truck and exactly what you're paying for disposal. It's completely transparent, and it's designed to actually reward you for sorting your stuff properly. And this table just lays it out, crystal clear. In both cases, yeah, you pay a fee for the truck. But look at that second line. That's where the magic happens. The old guys have to slap you with that massive $60 a ton levy. But with the digital refinery model, because the AI can instantly prove your load is clean, that cost just vanishes. It drops to zero. You go from being punished with fees to being rewarded with actual savings.
So you're probably wondering, how can they just make a $60 fee disappear? Well, this is where the serious brain power comes in. They use an AI technique called RAG. And honestly, the best way to think of it is as an AI lawyer. This thing has read all the dense, complicated legal documents, and it uses that knowledge to make sure every single load is perfectly compliant. It turns legalese into code, making the whole process totally audit-proof. This chart tells the whole financial story perfectly. You start in the red, with this big $60 per ton cost hanging over your head. Then, with smart verification, boom, that cost gets completely wiped out. You're at zero. But here's the kicker. It doesn't stop there. The system actually pushes you into the green by creating brand new revenue from things like carbon dividends.
So think about this for a second. What used to be a dirty job hauling trash has now become a high-tech data factory. Every single truckload is spitting out these valuable digital assets. You're getting digital proof of recycling for auditors, you're getting CO2 data for corporate sustainability reports, and you're even getting a tamper-proofed blockchain record of the whole journey. You're literally turning waste into trusted data.
Okay, so what they have running right now is, frankly, it's incredible. But believe it or not, they're just getting started. This whole system is really just the launchpad for a whole blueprint of what's coming next.
And this future roadmap is something straight out of science fiction. We're talking about smart bins with sensors that literally call for their own pickup when they're full. We're talking about creating a digital twin for every load on the blockchain, a record that can never be changed. And then there's this wild idea called agile pyrolysis. Mobile refineries that can decide on the fly whether to make biochar or bio-oil based on what's making more money that day. How cool is that?
In this quote, right here, it just sums up the whole mission. This isn't about being a better garbage company. It's about something way bigger. It's about a kind of modern-day alchemy, transmuting a physical liability into a clean, verified, and trusted stream of data.
And you know, when you really think about it, this whole model might have started with wood, but the core problem it solves, turning chaos into precision, that problem exists everywhere. It's a huge wake-up call for so many industries. And it leaves you with this one final big question. If you can turn a dumpster into a database, what other waste out there is just a data problem waiting to be solved?